lawyer and I'm a consultant solicitor here at LawBite. My main areas of expertise are commercial and employment law. I've also many years of experience in commercial property. In this video, I'll be discussing the key aspects of buying and leasing commercial premises. I will touch on some of the considerations you will need to bear in mind when embarking on a new property acquisition. Taking on new premises is a major decision for any business, so it is important that you are prepared in advance and ask the right questions before proceeding with your transaction. This is especially important if you are taking on your own commercial premises for the first time. To a large extent, this depends on whether you are opting to purchase or lease the premises. I will look at purchasing the premises first. When you are purchasing the premises, you are acquiring an asset. So you need to ensure that your investment is safe and that the asset is saleable. With this in mind, your key focus will need to be on ensuring that you are not overpaying for the premises, that it is structurally sound and connected to all services, that the land registry title is clean and that it has the necessary legal rights to enjoy full usage of the premises, and that the recommended surveys and searches are being undertaken to ensure there are no hidden surprises. If you get all of these points right, then there is a good chance that the premises will represent a good investment and that it will be both mortgageable and saleable in the future. If you are leasing premises, then some of the due diligence will be similar, but the main objective is a little different. Since you are only agreeing to take on the premises for a given period of time, the focus has to be on the liability that you are taking on in respect of the premises during that period. Therefore, it is vital that the draft lease is professionally checked and that your liability is restricted as much as possible in the drafting, particularly in areas such as repair and dilapidations that I will touch on later. You will also want to ensure that the landlord grants any other rights to you that are necessary for the enjoyment of the premises, such as rights of way and any car parking rights, etc. Naturally, this is likely to depend on what type of premises you are buying and if there are any known issues. It will also depend on the surrounding vicinity. Also, if you are buying with a mortgage, it is likely your lender will require certain searches and surveys as a mandatory condition of the loan. However, generally speaking, one of the most important things to get right is the building survey. It is often a good idea to instruct an independent chartered surveyor to do a full structural survey, particularly if the premises are ageing or unusual in some way. This survey should be done in good time before exchange of contracts, so that you know of any structural issues before committing to buy. It is likely you will also want an environmental survey, an asbestos survey, a local authority search, a land registry search, and a water and drainage search as a minimum. Your solicitor will be able to arrange these for you. These documents will reveal critical information about the property and the immediate surrounding area. Any adverse entries should be treated with caution, and you should take advice before proceeding. The lease itself is the key document here. However, before you get to the lease, initially you will negotiate the agreed commercial terms with the landlord. We call these heads of terms. The heads of terms are usually drafted by the landlord's agent, if there is one, and then sent to both firms of solicitors. The solicitors know then what they are working to. The heads of terms will cover areas such as the agreed starting rent and any rent review periods, the length of the lease, known as the term, any break clauses, service charges, repairing and insurance obligations, and any other agreed terms. Your solicitor will then need to ensure that the draft lease, as prepared by the landlord solicitors, is balanced in its drafting and reflects the agreed heads of terms. Your solicitor will also check the landlord's land registry title to ensure that they own the property in question and are legally able to grant the lease to you. It is also a good idea to issue the landlord with a suite of standard commercial property inquiries. These are known as CPSEs and cover virtually every area of detail about the property, all the way from planning permissions through to business rates and fire safety issues, etc. You may also want to carry out some additional searches and inquiries based upon your solicitor's advice, and also on the responses that you get to the CPSC inquiries. The short answer to this is whatever you and the landlord agree. However, as a general rule, usually if you are leasing a whole building, then often the landlord will want you to be responsible for both interior and exterior repairs. On the other hand, if you are leasing a part only of a building, then you are usually responsible for internal repairs only. The landlord will then often require you and the other tenants to contribute to a service charge to cover repairs to the main building structure. It is recommended that you limit your repair obligations in the lease by reference to a photographic schedule of condition. This is a document that records the condition of the premises when you take them on, so that the landlord cannot require you to return them in any better state than that. Usually, the landlord will insure the building to protect the landlord's investment and then recharge the cost of the insurance back to the tenant. If there is more than one tenant in the building, then usually the cost of the building's insurance is split proportionately to the square footage that the tenants lease. You do not have a general right to just cancel your lease if circumstances change. However, you may be able to negotiate a tenant break clause into the lease at the outset, which may give you a pre-agreed window of time in which to terminate the lease early if things do not work out for you. It is essential that you obtain independent legal advice when either buying or leasing premises. Buying or leasing premises is a very big commitment, and therefore you need to be thorough and confident in your due diligence. LawBite has experienced lawyers. We are friendly and can help you with all commercial and corporate legal matters. We have successfully handled tens of thousands of inquiries from SMEs and are proud of our 98% positive feedback rating. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you have found it helpful and that there are some points you can take away from it.